Saving money is one of the top New Year resolutions that people make. Whether you want to save $100 or $1,000, there's simple ways to put more cash in your pocket this year. And Lynnette Khalfani-Cox is known as the Money Coach. She's also the best-selling author of Zero Debt. Please welcome Lynnette. Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
So, before we talk about all of the expertise you have, you faced a heck of a financial crisis before all of this started, right?
That's right. Back in 2001, I had a ton of debt, credit card debt in particular. I almost feel horrible to say it now, but I had $100,000 in credit card. Don't judge me, okay? I was like a lot of you guys. I was overspending. I had my kids in a very expensive private school that I really couldn't afford. I would take trips to the Caribbean and worry about paying for it later. A lot of overspending. But of course, I paid it off. I paid it all off in 3 years. I never missed a single payment.
That's incredible.
And then I wrote that book you mentioned, the New York Times bestseller, Zero Debt. And so if I could get out of debt and learn how to save money, I know your entire audience can too.
Well, we're excited to hear your ideas. What's your first idea?
Well, first, let me ask, because I know you guys all have paddles. How many of you guys have subscriptions for things that you pay on a regular monthly basis? It's getting charged on your credit card statements or coming out of your monthly accounts.
I do.
So, I see a lot of you.
Yeah.
Well, you're certainly not alone. You know, a lot of us have these subscriptions for everything from streaming services, for video or audio, for gym memberships, for newspapers. Some of you are on those dating websites, I know. You might say, I'm not canceling that, Lynnette, but
sometimes you forget about them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You might not even be using them anymore, and that's the point. Because it might not seem like a lot at first, $10 here, $20, but when you add it all up, it's a lot of money. And so you can easily save $50 a month. That's $600 in a year, no small chunk of change.
You're right.
If you want to cancel or cut back on some of those subscriptions.
Now, what about your phone bill and your cable bill? How's that possible?
Right. Well, you can do a couple of things. First, you have to know what you're actually paying for and what you're using. So you can call up your cable company, and if you're not really watching, say, 100 premium channels on TV, maybe you cut back on that. You can ask your telephone company, based on my actual monthly usage, is there a better plan for me? How can I save money? And of course, you can do the smart thing and negotiate.
Really?
Absolutely. So you might get a better deal from a competing phone company or, a utility company for internet service. You should call them up and ask and say, listen, I got another offer from XYZ company. Can you match or beat that offer?
Wow, I didn't know you could ask for a better rate.
Not only that, but it's yours for the asking a lot of times. People feel scared sometimes,
Sure.
but you can't.
I'm scared of those people.
And see, that's the idea that a lot of people have. They feel like, oh, it's me against the big bad bank, the utility company, the insurance company, or whatever. Always negotiate, always try to get a better deal. What's the worst that could happen? All they could do is say no, and then you're not in any worse position than you were before.
How many people want Lynnette to come home with them today? Everybody. Now, the next idea has to do with old tech.
Right. So again, with your paddles, I want you guys to show me how many of you have old tech or gadgets, smartphones or, game boxes and video console, almost everybody in here.
Yeah, me too.
Again, the average household in America has about 7 different devices just laying around the house. Some of you stuff it in the drawer, right? Or maybe you have a little box.
It disappears forever that way.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's in the garage or whatever. But that's a waste of resources, frankly, because you can actually jumpstart your savings in 2018 by selling that stuff. And there's a great way to do it online. You can go to a website called Declutter, DECLUTTR.com, and they will buy your stuff back from you and pay a pretty good price for it too. So
what about if it's broken? They'll look at it.
You can tell them the condition that your device is in, and they buy back. Now, of course, you're going to get better pricing for more top-of-the-line stuff. But let's say you got an old, Xbox, Xbox One. $100 for that. A PlayStation 4, $150 for that.
Sure.
The phones starting at $50 and above. The newer phones, the iPhone 7 and 8, $350 to $400. So get on a site like Declutter, sell your stuff, jumpstart your savings for 2018.
That's great advice.